All right, here's new golf student Mark. Man, this one worried me. If we see Mark's before technique, I wasn't quite sure we were going to get this swing straightened out. So if we take a look just at his setup, if we look at his hand, see how we need this left hand on top. Look at how weak this grip is. Left hand's turned to the left, right hand is on top. Makes it really tough to close the club face when the hands leave the club head through impact when you have a really weak grip like this. So we need these hands leading the club head through impact so we can hit ball and ground. So you can see this forward shaft lean. Well, with Mark, we had years. Now Mark, the good thing is that Mark's got these really strong wrists. He's got these, he's like a blacksmith. His hands are so strong, but he was just using his wrists incorrectly, and he was getting this rear shaft lean instead of this forward shaft lean. And you can see when he comes through, we get this curl in the right wrist. And this is flexion in the right wrist, extension in the left wrist, instead of the opposite here, where the hands are leading the club head through impact. Now this is Tony Finau, and it doesn't matter whether it's Tony Finau or Tiger Woods, the hands have to lead the club head through impact. So you can see here again, hands are leading the club head through impact. We have forward shaft lean through impact. You can see the knuckles of this left hand getting underneath, where Mark here, you're going to see this left hand staying on top, staying on top, staying on top, staying on top. See how this right hand is pushing underneath? We never really get this club face closed. And you can see it's, if you know what to look for, see this club face is still pointing up to face the sky. We actually need this club face closing, but closing correctly. So you can see how this club face points to the ground, this club face is pointing up to the sky. So you really can't have any extension if you're not closing the club face. Here you can see, Ernie Els extension through impact. We can see this left hand is underneath instead of this left hand staying on top. So one of the first things we did is correct Mark's grip. You just really can't, nothing else will fall into place unless you correct the grip. And here is his new grip. Okay, there he is after, here he is before. You can see the, left hand, we get the left hand more on top. So we're going to take a look, let's take it hand by hand. So here's his new left hand grip. You can see, and now we want this right hand more underneath. Here he is before, right hand more on top. Here he is after, right hand underneath. Now here is his old way of closing this club face with this right hand pushing the club head, trying to push this club face closed. And now we're going to start retraining the wrist. We start with the right wrist here. We're just going to try to train this right wrist not to flip and go into flexion through impact. We're actually going to do the opposite with this right wrist. So then we're going to get now we're going to go from right hand only. Now we're going to get both hands on here. Now we're going to go from this old technique of closing this club face. Now we're going to go to this new technique, better setup. Here we go. We're going to let this club face rotate open. And now instead of this rear shaft lean, now we get to go to forward shaft lean. So here is his new move through the golf ball. Here's contact. There you go. So now we can hit ball then ground. So here he is before and here he is after. If you know what to look for, you know exactly what's going on here. Now eventually we'll get these forearms rotating. So he kind of blocks it out here. Well, that's fine. This is just day one. But you see now instead of this, right wrist pushing and this left wrist breaking down, we've actually got the opposite. Here we can add some forearm rotation. Okay, here we go from behind down the line. Here's Mark's swing before. Here's what he would do. He would get this club face really closed in the backswing and then come over the top and then try to chop down on the golf ball in hopes of making contact. You can see him swinging off his back foot here. Really no way to have any power. Really have no hinge from the left wrist. We've got this big flexion in his left wrist here at the top, and then he comes over the top. So here's the path of his hands on the way back, and then here's the path of his hands on the way down. So big over the top, kind of chopping down and across the golf ball. This one I think he catches, almost shanks this one. You can see as he comes in, this club head is outside the golf ball. Okay, so we're swinging off the back foot here. We really want these hands to stay more out in front and then transition the hands. If we take a look, we're going to put a dot right on the hands here, and the hands go back and down. Watch, they go back. So the golfer pulls the hands back and down and then swings out through the golf ball. It doesn't matter who it is. Here's, Rory McIlroy. We're going to see the path, the hands of the on the way back here, and the hands pull back and down, and then the golfer can swing out through the golf ball. All right, so here is now, we're going to go from this before technique to now we're going to start building the rest of the swing around that better grip and the better move through the golf ball. So now we're going to let this club face open so it can close through impact. And now we're going to get these hands swinging through the correct position and out through the golf ball. And when we get in the right position, now this club face can close through impact. And now we can start hitting, now the weight starts to shift over to the left foot, and we can start hitting some draws. So you're going to see this ball actually draw from right to left, and now the weight shifts over to the left foot. And here's a swing we can kind of build on instead of this kind of over the top, chopping across, swinging off the back foot. Okay, so this is just his improvement on his first lesson. Here we can build on this swing and then just ingrain and improve it.